And while I wait for the family to get ready to go to yoga, for us to go and do yoga together as a family, I'll go ahead and share a little more, add a little more to living the way nature intended the journey. So why am I doing these video journals? Well, when I turned 30, well actually let me back up. For like a few years prior to me turning 40, maybe about 2 years or so, I was just totally absorbed with the excitement of turning 40. Just feeling like by the time that I got to 40, things would be, for me, so figured out, and you know, it's symbolically represents just a complete new phase of your life, and just couldn't wait to get there. And I had decided that I was going to journal every day until I was 40, and my journaling would become a book. Well, needless to say, the journaling did not happen, not nearly as much as it should have. So I didn't have the book in the form of my journals, but the desire was planted in my spirit, so it never left me. Last summer, the strong desire returned as I was commuting in Long Island with one of my mentors, Dr. Hicks. I woke up in the wee hours of the morning with this burning desire to just release. She happened to be out, and so we began to journal, record, as she interviewed me. So some of the book has already started, and all things happen in divine time. And so for me, as I share through these video journals, I'm adding to the book that's been started. So you're actually hearing the book as it's being written, and so I appreciate you being a part of that process. So there's so much to say, I don't even know where to begin. But let me just go back to my Chevron days. So I worked at Chevron for about 9 years. I left there shortly after I had my daughter, Sia. I left there in 2008. So this year would be 5 years. Do you know when you feel trapped and just totally creating the opportunity to release yourself? And that's where I was when I was at Chevron. The last 2 years there were like torture for me. I appreciate my experience there. I learned a lot. I grew a lot professionally. But I began to feel caged, and I literally created the opportunity in my mind, and it came to fruition for me to leave that place. I imagined myself so many times just walking out of that door for the last time and not having to look back. And so finally, in July of 2008, I was able to do that. And I have never looked back. Grateful for the time there and for everything that I learned, and for the people that I met and formed relationships with, but never looked back. And so I was happy to be able to move on. After having my daughter, there was also a desire. This is in 2007, July 2007. There was a desire to do a little more from a spiritual perspective. At the time, I was exposed to and began reading Queen Afua, and I'm so grateful to her for the guidance that she has provided through her book. Sacred Woman was the first that I was exposed to, and through Sacred Woman, I really began to open up and to connect spiritually. The other book of hers that I read was Heal Thyself. Heal Thyself. And through that book, where she started a play group for her children. A play group for her children where they were able to come together with other children of the community to learn and talk about food. Her children were vegans, and she wanted to provide a space for them to commune with other children, and so she did that. And it is through those pages that my desire to create Seedlings Place was birthed. For those of you who don't know, Seedlings Place was founded in 2007. Founded with the inspiration of also wanting to create a space for my children to interact with other children and families of like mind, who wanted to teach them about wellness, who wanted to teach them about plant-based food lifestyles, so that they would not feel ostracized or alone or have to feel defensive or embarrassed about their way of eating and the lifestyle that our family has chosen. And so Seedlings Place began with just a few persons in my immediate community, and I'm thankful to them for being a part of that. The Nashes and the Evises, who came out with their children to be a part. And so we began. And from there we've done a whole lot of things. We've grown a whole lot. For the last 2 years, I'm kind of going to bounce back and forth as I share my story, but for the last 2 years, since 2010 actually, Seedlings Place has been very quiet, and that is a direct reflection of where I have been in my personal journey. And so as I continue to share, you'll learn and understand where we've come from, what we've done, how we've grown, why we retreated. And trust me, it wasn't a plan of mine, but I was put in a place where I had no choice, thankfully so, to release and let go of some things so that I can focus on some other things, being me. There was some growing I needed to do, some forgiveness that I needed to do, some things I needed to let go, some things I needed to face about myself. And I'm still in that phase, but I know now that the time came when I was comfortable enough, but more importantly, the ancestors guided me to know that it was time now to re-emerge. And so I'm thankful for that. So as I move forward with today, I'm going to come back, because I'm going to keep the videos short. Don't want to bore you too much. But there's a lot to come. So stay tuned. Living the Way Nature Intended, The Journey. My book was originally going to be called On the Way to 40, but since I'm already 40, right now it's On the Way to 40 and Beyond. So stay with me. Cont'd.